Here is another reason why you need to be professional at all times. I'm learning to thrive in the gig economy. Would you like to learn too? Next week, I'm going to have a 3-day fill-in assignment as an editor at a online business publication. And how I got that gig is very interesting because it goes to show you how, as you network, as you continue to reach out to other people, your reputation is very important. This guy called me last week and he said that he had been filling in on this publication, this business publication, but he had a full-time job now and they needed somebody for 3 days, and he told him that he couldn't help out because he now had a full-time job. And they asked him, well, do you know anybody who might be interested? So he had called a former colleague of mine and asked him if he wanted to do it. And he said no, he had too much work on his plate, but he recommended me. So this guy called me and he said, I remember you edited 1 or 2 pieces of mine for different publication a while back. So I'm really happy to hear that you might be interested in this. And I said, yeah, I'd be interested. He said, all right, I'm going to pass your name back to the woman at the online business publication as a possibility for a fill-in. But I got to tell you, there's going to be a couple other names that are on the list. So they might not pick you. Even if you want the position, you might not get a call. I said, all right, well, I appreciate you putting my name in the mix. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If they talk to me and they decide it's not the right fit, that's fine too, because I always like to talk to people, always like to meet people, find out how they do things. The woman calls me from the online business publication. And she says, yeah, we had a number of names, and I floated them up the line. And one of the top editors now at this business publication immediately recognized your name and said, oh, I worked in the same newsroom as him 15 years ago. He's really good. Let's go with him. And I don't really remember ever working on a lot of stories with this woman. Maybe 5, 6, I don't know. But I was in the newsroom with her. That is true. Once I heard the name, I knew who she was. But it just goes to show you, she remembered me 15 years later as a good editor. What's the chances, right? What's the chances that 15 years ago, when I was dealing with her, that 15 years later, she'd have a job for me, right? That's why I say, you got to be professional with everybody you meet, every job you meet, including when somebody else is being unprofessional. You need to hold your ground, of course. Don't let them get away with things. But you ought to be professional at all times, because 15 years later, somebody's going to remember you and going to give you a gig. Have you had something like that happen? I'd be curious to hear about it. And if you find this information helpful, please hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe. Take care.